So if Daniel Day-Lewis is the Michael Jordan of acting, is it too much to hope that maybe he'll treat retirement like Jordan did?
Cyril is right. Cyril is always right. It's not because the fabric is adored by the clients that Cyril is right. It's right because it's right. Because it's beautiful. Maybe one day you'll change your taste, Alma.
Maybe not.
Maybe you have no taste.
Maybe I like my own taste.
Yes, just enough to get you into trouble.
Perhaps I'm looking for trouble.
Stop!
Phantom Thread is Paul Thomas Anderson's latest opus, starring Daniel Day-Lewis as a fashion designer in England, and what happens when somebody comes into his life that upends the way he sees things. It is Paul Thomas Anderson, so there's a lot going on here. It is Daniel Day-Lewis, so there is even more going on here. Let's take a look at 5 things you might want to know about Phantom Thread. Man, I have not stopped thinking about this movie since I saw it several days ago. It is one of those stick-in-ya kind of movies. Let's get into the details. This movie's awesome, and a lot of it has to do with Daniel Day-Lewis. He is so good. I know many people have talked about how amazing he is. He just becomes these other characters. I mean, every once in a while you'll get a glimpse of, oh yeah, that's the same guy that played Lincoln. But for the most part, it's just like, wow, that is an actual fashion designer from London, England, and that's how he walks and moves. And the way he embodies another person is so incredible. And in this case, it's about his persnicketyness. It's about the way that you can tell he's annoyed at something that's going on with barely any movement, just the slightest facial, muscular movement. He actually is that person and reacting so perfectly that you just buy into the entire thing, and it really makes this movie soar. So yes, you've got Daniel Day-Lewis, who I'm not sure if he's an Autobot or a Decepticon. I just know he transforms. But you've also got this incredible other cast around him. Here's what I love about these other people. We don't really know who they are. You have to give props to Paul Thomas Anderson and the casting people who brought them in, because what he does is he surrounds Day-Lewis with these faces that if you've seen, you've barely seen in anything else. So not only does Daniel Day-Lewis completely disappear into his character, all these other people completely become their character because we have no other context to put them in. Plus, they're really good. I have to give props to the girl who does most of the acting across from him. I think her name's Vicky Krieps, I want to say. She plays Alma, who becomes the love interest in this movie. She's phenomenal, and she stands up to Daniel Day-Lewis and holds her own in some of these really incredible scenes. But the overall feel, because of these unknown actors and actresses, is that you have really, truly entered a world, and Phantom Thread takes you there. And we haven't even gotten to the really good stuff yet. That's all surface, performance stuff. Man, this movie is smart. There's so much to think about here. I love it when I keep processing a movie like this. The symbolism, the metaphor, the layers, the subtext. There's so much subtext here, and it's beautiful stuff. I'll just point out a couple. Watch the way people eat in this movie. Watch what food means in this movie. Watch how the movie deals with secrets, how it deals with secrets and relationships and all of those kind of things, because all of those things play together to teach you something, to tell you something, to go somewhere, to give you a springboard to really think about what commitment means, about what it means to love someone, about what obsession is. All of those things, my brain can't quit ping-ponging them around, and I think that's intentional. I think Paul Thomas Anderson, when he's working on this level, achieves a level of brilliance that you just don't see many other places. But here's the thing. It's not just the way this movie is saying things that's brilliant. It's what this movie is saying that's brilliant. At least what I'm interpreting it to say about relationships and commitment and sacrifice and what it means to really let someone invade your world and what you have to do to have that agreement with someone, to live life with them. And that goes for sibling relationships, which are addressed here, romantic relationships, which are addressed here, a friendship relationship. All of that is understood in this way of what it means to truly let someone know into your life and to deal with our idiosyncrasies that each of us have, the things that make us who we are, and to understand how to do that. This movie is brilliant in how it's using these metaphors and this symbolism to make a commentary on what that stuff means. And I think that's important. I think it's valuable. And I love the movie for making the effort. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious I love this movie. And I should say, by the way, Paul Thomas Anderson and I don't always get along. I didn't really enjoy The Master that much. I thought Inherent Vice was awful, like genuinely awful. But man, when he's working for me like this and There Will Be Blood, he is just hitting it out of the park for me. I will say one thing. We'll do this for point number 5. If you are not tuned into this movie, it may feel a little boring to you. It definitely takes its time. It may feel a little pretentious to you. Like, what is this movie doing kind of thing? I can see that happening for some people. Now, for me, come on. I loved it. There's so much to think about. There's so much great dialogue and moments that I found it electric. I found the energy to be in what was going on in my mind, not necessarily what was going on in the quote-unquote surface story. So for me, I loved it, but just that warning that maybe that stuff won't work for you. Overall, though, I had a blast with Phantom Thread. I think it is one of those movies that's going to hang with me a long time. Going to be one of the best of the year for 2017 for me. We'll see where that lands soon, but I gave it a solid A. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, let's connect further. Hit me up on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Have a lot of fun there. Chatting movies, running polls about which movies I should review, all that kind of fun stuff happens at Twitter. You can also listen to the podcast, SiftPop, SiftPop. Have a good time with Andrew Ormsby, my friend, who comes in every week, and we talk pop culture. And we have a good time doing it. So check that out, SiftPop, SiftPop. And subscribe at YouTube. Hang out here, leave comments, participate. All that stuff's really fun. And finally, if you're supporting this channel, keeping it going, thank you. With a lot of the recent changes that YouTube has made, there's not really much of an opportunity for me at this level of channel to be supported on YouTube through advertising. So thank you for giving $3 a month to help me continue to do this. It's incredible. You can do that at Patreon, patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. Patreon.com/yourmoviefriend, and thank you for that. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever, a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Going straight for the fashion world. What is the best ever movie that deals with the fashion world or deals with fashion in some way? You can kind of keep that fairly loose. I love the creative choices. For me, I feel like you're going to get mine, even though I'm pretty sure there's more to this clue than it being really, really ridiculously obvious looking. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get that point. Love to hear your choice as well. And as always, give me a subscription. Hit up the subscribe face. It's coming your way right now.